RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do?
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? It's LB, lot of Del Boss. You know, Shutterworth, the God, the GOAT artist, aka the Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com.
Hey, bringing in the house forever and always. And always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what up? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio, let's get it.
Hey, Bodega P, straight from the sewer. Actually, he's in the sewer right now. He's currently taking a break from finding the Foot Clan or whatever, and trying to find the ooze to come on the podcast with us. And we salute you.
Trying to get the Dragon Balls. Is the ooze now? Like, hold on.
Oh no!
Get it how you get it.
P
the ooze, trade the ooze for sanitizer.
P lives an adventurous life. Yo, and then always I got last but not least we got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on? It's PJ, aka the Fight Architect, aka the Ref, and probably now the Scribe, who's an addition to the articles in RingGangRadio.com.
Hey, that's what we're talking about. He braved the frozen tundra to make it here tonight. Salute that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to park my polar bear on the side. He's taking a break right now, having some water. Word.
So yeah, we got three topics we're gonna get into tonight. The first one is, it's a fairly it's a topic that's discussed about. Of course, we're talking about former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, since losing the belt in almost one-sided fashion, he has been incognito. He's been laying low, healing, so we speak. Maybe we thought, he's probably working on some new shit, as he has a rematch with Fury, which will most likely take place in October from what I last read. However, he has since resurfaced on a PBC podcast, where again he refuses to take full responsibility for anything, including this. Now, of course, there's been other stuff that he has recently said. I think the most prevalent one is that he ripped his biceps again. He ripped something in his arm again for this fight, and he wasn't the same. It's less like, my legs, the damn armor I wear is 40 pounds. You killed my legs. Oh, no, Fury's not the champion because he has to face me one more time.
Yeah, that was the second most prominent thing he said. The damn Fury's not the real champion. Like, I'm like, what? Like, wait, but you just got knocked out. Like, just touch your ass. What do you mean?
Right? And this is of course coming after whereas luckily he was not really fueling this, where his stands, his idiot stands were claiming that there was a controversy with his wraps inside his gloves, and thinking that this motherfucker slipped his glove off halfway and was hitting this, and it was hitting him with cuffing shots, but it was hitting him with his knuckles and shit, and that's why he got busted up like that. Well, there's a whole bunch of malarkey,
It's just the DuckTales just span out of control. It's like they added like 20 more acres to Duckburg. Like, that's the type of like real estate niggas is doing.
Right? And it's just like, dog, it's like, and then this is like you wondering, so when you got to take responsibility. Now, if you've heard me talk about Wilder before, I'm not high. Now, it's one thing, to say, I say I'm not high on a boxer's skill, but Wilder is probably one of the few boxers where I'm just like, am I the only one or that sees that this boy is fundamentally flawed?
Damn.
You know, no, seriously, like I mean, LB, you know, I mean,
I literally heard the hammer and the 2x4 as you made your podium.
Yeah.
Bruh, like this man said, this boy, it's like this man's like 12 years old, like some hard-hitting kid in the gym that just won't like learn this technique right.
Well, it's the African in him.
Well, I am older than him.
Showing up anyway.
So I can talk like that. I am older than him, so.
I was gonna say, if you understand like African traditions, there's a reason why he's talking in that manner.
You know, but it's just like, you know, when I mean, obviously when he won the belt, I mean, there wasn't a whole bunch of hoopla around him. It's like, oh yeah, he's heavyweight champion, but the overrating of his skill came after the second Stavern fight, because that was his coming out fight, so to speak, and he got more and more overrated. But
then that's the time when Joshua was now looked at as the next big fight in the sport. So that kind of them kind of going back and forth with him and Hearn, that kind of increased the legend of his non-boxingness, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Because there were so many things that he was doing that it was just like it was wrong. Like it's just like. And the one thing I would say was the one trick pony shit. It's like all he's doing is just wants to land a right hand. It's just like he gets outboxed with some fairly simple shit until he lands right hand and he rescues himself. And then you were surprised how much backlash I got for just saying this over and over again, and then calling him Deontay Bailey because of the Randall Bailey thing, that comparison, and a whole bunch of stuff. And then it came to a head with the damn Ortiz fights. I said, he's flawed. He's incredibly flawed. Oh, no, Pat, you're just a hater. Oh, no, this.
You do be hating, though.
But I'm right most of the time.
Yeah, but not right enough to actually accurately predict Fury to beat him in the rematch by KO like somebody else did.
Of course.
Uh-oh. He's having this is his Salido moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. We gotta reel Pat in sometimes. Like, cause he goes off on the deep end of Wilder, and I just wanna you be like, look, you can't shit on Wilder too hard if you ain't pick his ass to lose. Like, you can't be overly critical like that.
Yeah, and the only reason why I did that is because Fury unfortunately has X factors. Which forced me to.
That's some hell of an X factors to cancel out all that non-boxingness that dudes done harped on for years, man. Like, especially after you seen the first fight. So it's either people gonna just put their predictions on the line and they boxing knowledge on the line and just say, look, man, this nigga trash. He ain't gonna learn shit. He gonna lose again. That's all I'm saying. Like, but
oh, come on.
Shit, I've said it. Like,
yeah, no. He said, but it wasn't like I said. Fury was not exactly giving me a whole lot of confidence that he would get himself right.
Dude, but it's hard for anybody to give you confidence. Like, look how hard you grade everybody. Like, and you're comparing it to Wilder. Like imagine if Danny Garcia had to fight Wilder.
Oh my god!
Like, oh my goodness.
Well, no, my boxing brain looks like this: the first Wilder Fury fight. Fury has two fights he didn't look good in at all. Like, one was like a stoppage because basically it was like a mercy stoppage, as in like neither was doing.
But remember the trend that Fury, takes the big fight serious has already been established at that point.
Right, and then after that, he does what he does in the first fight. I think Fury won that fight, won it comfortable, even with the two knockdowns. And then in that fight, Wilder's going off like, they don't want us to win, us to see all types of shit like that. Didn't take responsibility for what he did. It wasn't like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board, like this was a close fight or whatever. No.
He made excuses back then because remember, he was saying that he had some injury in camp, like he wasn't really throwing the right hand like he wanted to, and and he was saying it like leading up to the Brazil fight, he was talking about that. Like anytime Wilder get in the camp, he's always on some, we back to the basics. Like, nigga, how many fucking back to the basics training camps you gonna have?
Right.
You either know the fucking basics or you don't.
Right. And
you don't go to a new math class talking about, all right, we're gonna learn addition again, folks. Like, no. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna show you the fucking basics of a job again.
Right, and then and then after that, of course, he's pissed because the rematch didn't take place as soon as he wanted, and so he had to go fight his mandatory, which was Brazil, and Brazil unfortunately didn't fought kind of dumb, and got knocked out in the first round.
And still managed to rock Wilder somehow.
He did, yeah, still because he rocked the fight to him. He sure did.
Now he has to go back to Golden State. Oh, hang on, that's not Clay. My bad.
And then Fury himself, he had one fight which went the whole Apollo Creed, and he won by KO in 2 rounds, and then afterwards he had the Otto Wallen fight, which he should have lost, flat out. I'll say this: he should have.
I don't know about all that.
He should have lost by TKO.
Nah.
Not by decision.
Nah. The precedent has already been set for terrible ass cuts. We've seen worse cuts.
In the same year, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, if Body Jack is allowed to go the full 12, then so should Fury.
Yeah, especially since he's the lineal heavyweight champion.
Well,
I would say the cut was bad for Fury, but what stuck out was like the glob of Vaseline that was really on the top of his face. That was what really stuck out during the fight. Whereas Badu Jack, he literally had his third eye open.
Yeah. Body Jack. That fight should have been stopped too. But what do I know?
To be fair, Badu Jack's opponent was horrified throughout the remainder of that fight with all the blood flying around. You could see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
so horrified he went to lose his next damn fight.
But we can't make fun of Badu. Badu Jack is a warrior, man. And I'm pretty sure Badu Jack will be a subject.
It's more like we giving him props though, because we're they're saying like how he fought through a worse looking cut than Fury.
Well,
it's a better opponent.
But in the Fury there was a lot of fuckery because they were like, first they were trying to call that shit was a headbutt. I was like, no, that's a punch. And then
that was a clear punch.
Yeah, and then afterwards they had like the ESPN announcers talking about going to the corners, like, yeah, no, don't stop the fight. That was, and they really were trying to get it, keep Fury in the fight, because I know Fury's corner was about to probably call that shit in because they were thinking, oh, this is a headbutt, and then they're like, oh no, if you stop this fight, it's a TKO. So Fury
yeah, I'm just like, there was no way it's a headbutt. You could literally see the IKEA table in that punch.
Exactly. So that's why, like, you see that fight, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, how am I supposed to be confident? How am I supposed to be confident again?
Fury still won clean, bruh. Like,
he adjusted.
Yeah, exactly.
Barely.
Pat be just so like overly, I don't know, like so strict. Like,
I can find the middle ground between both points of it. Fury adjusted, but he adjusted enough because Wallen was trying to go for what he saw. It was just each time he did, he kind of jumped the gun, which allowed Fury to go hold him and press on him.
Yeah, yes. I thought Fury won the fight, but it was like a 115, 113 type of shit. Like, you didn't win that
it's
shit.
Clear enough.
It was
both
it didn't
cuts were
help that
bad.
Fury got rocked in the last round too. So it was just like, either way, it was a bad Fury fight, and like I said, and it was a fight where I'm like, okay, now we have a nasty cut that Wilder can rip open if he played his cards
right. If he could
right.
land a damn punch that could do it.
Yeah, which he couldn't.
Yeah.
Go ding 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 ding. Yeah, score one for Shuttleworth.
Yeah, so which now comes to the second fight, and Fury just pretty much annihilates Wilder, and
he dog walks him.
Pretty much.
It's a damn Cardi B IG post.
I was gonna say also that to also quote what LB would say, Fury used his size. He acted like the bigger guy.
Of course he did, yeah.
And it's simple. When you got literally like 50 plus pounds on somebody, why not?
And two more inches of height.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And didn't act
more
like
ring experience.
And didn't act like a 6'9" version of Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm actually visualizing that right now. That is so scary.
Yeah. It's horrifying to my eyes. Like, ugh. I'm having like Fury Klitschko flashbacks.
Yeah.
A little bit of Povetkin thrown in.
Ugh.
Fury
Maybe
Klitschko
not
was
octopus
very
somehow.
weird.
Fury Klitschko was just one of those shits like, come on, Vlad, what the fuck are you doing? You know, that it's like, I thought Vlad would actually win by knockout in this fight because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And that's when you realized that Vlad was just too old to pull the trigger.
Well, that and also
No, he was too
Vlad
scared
is-
to pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's what it was. Don't go knows. Oh, we discussed this. Throwback. We didn't had this conversation. Pat was fucking salty. Didn't want to give Fury his credit. Me and PJ had to grill this dude like consistently. Like y'all could. It's on the first Bars and Boxing album. Like it's a skit on that shit with Pat just all in his feelings, just so angry at that shit.
Because it was a horrible fight, and that's what I saw.
Well, the biggest thing
Yeah,
is
but this
like,
is the guy who always bringing up Kell Brook and Sean Porter.
That was.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Kell Brook, Sean Porter any day of the week than watch that horse shit.
I'd rather watch none of them ugly ass fights. How about that?
Yeah,
to
I for one
recap
choose-
again.
I for
to
one choose death.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
To
Listen,
recap,
give me liberty or give me death. Like give me a decent fade or give me death. Like
wow. Okay.
don't tell me like, well, yeah, here we got
Let's
all
just
these
stay home.
boxing fights. I'm gonna put in this Corey Spinks versus Mayorga or some shit.
Ooh.
Nigga, I'd watch that fight over both of those fights. That shit was actually pretty live.
Hell
It was live in a fuckery sense. Like I mean, like Corey Spinks' ring walk was dope. Mayorga calling this man a bitch for like jumping out of the way of punches and falling on the ground.
Yeah, ring walk. This nigga did his best fucking Michael Jackson impersonation.
I ain't gonna lie, that nigga.
Yeah, was I
dances?
I watching a fight or was I watching a fucking
Stone-
Billie
Stone
Jean
Tree.
music video?
All right, y'all.
Dabs.
All right, y'all. We're starting to go off topic again. Let's steer right back.
Okay, so let me ask this. Now, recently it came out that George Foreman talked to Wilder, and you know he was saying that he's a sensitive guy. What you take from that?
Probably threw
I
a
say
grill
he's
at
a
his feet.
sore loser. He's a sore loser. That's what he is.
Yeah, it's pretty much a case of like he's still in the denial stage.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Denial slash what was it? Like negotiating stage. I can't remember the different stages. I can't remember.
With overwhelming evidence, like yeah, that's some hell of a denial.
Hey, it's
Like
some people take longer
two
than
rivers
others.
in Africa.
2 rivers.
Like that's super denial, nigga. Like that's crazy.
Like I said, the only excuse I've heard worse than that is Manny Pacquiao's, "Oh, I lost because I wore the wrong sock." That's literally the only thing worse I can think of as an excuse.
When did he say that?
He said that,
Morales.
yeah, against Morales when he lost to Morales.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was bad. Like, but I don't know. I still think Wilder shit is worse though. Like, because it's just so many. Like, it's one thing to have one excuse and just stick to that excuse. But when you have like 15 and you stick to all 15 adamantly, it's like, come on.
It's
Yeah,
still,
exactly.
It's
I
still
mean-
tame compared to what his stand said.
And it's like I said, it's excuses span over 2 fights already. It's not like this is one fight, 2 fights.
It's
Like,
like Manny already like knocked out Morales twice,
yeah, exactly.
and in the midst of all these excuses, like
Yeah, that's true.
he
Manny
made you
had
forget about the excuses.
Manny's literally the guy who will say run it back, and he will come with a vengeance.
Wilder is like Wilder ain't letting you forget about excuse number 1 because he got excuse number 12 coming up next week.
Right after this commercial break, get some cluck cluck.
So I mean, I can understand where we coming from, where Pete coming from, talking about, you know, not like he just a spoiled loser, like, you know, a sore loser. I'm sorry, a soiled loser. Fuck all that.
That's a sure. That is a sure. He does have a. Now that I'm thinking, he does have a lot of excuses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like to compare one Manny Pacquiao excuse
Yeah, he's
that was
yeah.
in one trilogy. Like
yeah.
we already got, like,
Wilder has as many excuses as Billy Mays had infomercials.
Oh my god!
Wow. Deontay Wilder here.
Damn wow levels of commercials now.
Oh, he's got excuse number 5. But wait, there's more.
Oh my.
2 years later, excuse number 38.
I think it is also a sign of like he's pretty much surrounded by a bunch of yes men or people who just hype him up who've never actually just sat down and be like, yo, dude.
Yeah, no, they have, and I think
He said he made some changes. Like he got the snakes out the grass. We don't know who though.
Yeah, you don't know what his definition of a snake is.
Yeah, probably Mark Breland, who didn't deserve to get booed.
No, it's just like, I mean, yeah, Wilder, he's an interesting guy. Which is like, when Andy Ruiz lost, he was like, "Oh, motherfucker, you fumbled the bag." Or when Joshua lost, he was like, yes, now they know who's the true champion. Like, dude,
he talked all that cash shit, then he lose. It's but wait.
Yeah.
My kid didn't put up his Legos in the morning, and I stepped on a corner piece.
Yes, I'm still a champion.
If you ever stepped on a Lego, you know how that could fuck up your day. So, I mean,
yes.
I feel where Wilder coming from.
I ran into King
99.
Koopa on the way. King Koopa stopped me. The Hammer Bros were there too. I was on Rainbow Road and slipped off.
Like, I lost in Call of Duty this morning before the fight.
You know what? I bet I know some people who would probably use that as an excuse. Be like, they had a bad run in Call of Duty and they probably use that.
Oh, it would.
Oh man, it's just like wow. Like I mean, I don't know what he could change. It's just the change comes from the accountability, bro.
Accountability.
What the fuck? I mean,
accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah, Wilder needs an accountability buddy.
Yeah. He just needs someone to just like be around him all the time that's gonna say, nah, nigga, you fucking up. That's not it.
He needs a Jiminy Cricket.
Damn, a Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket.
But yeah, I mean, he had one. He had one that was a gold medalist
and a world champion himself. The only one probably in his fucking camp. And it's just like, come on, like, like you should be more worried about the fact that, one more loss and you're probably on your way down the ladder.
But he said he want to die.
I mean, you guys are kind of forgetting the story of Pinocchio. Pinocchio didn't really listen to Jiminy Cricket until it was too late.
Yeah, but Pinocchio wasn't a bronze medalist in the Olympics.
Nah, he was wood and had a stretching nose.
I mean, Pinocchio could use his dab though. Like, he kept a distance. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't let people walk him down and beat his ass.
Social distance.
Or maybe Mark Breland was the new. The people in his camp were the new Pinocchios. They're like in the commercial. You have potential. You have potential.
Disney Plus.
You have a whole clique of Pinocchios. I feel
somehow Deontay Wilder has been subscribed to Disney Plus his whole boxing career. All positivity all the time.
Yeah, and it's just like now. What I mean, like you said, like what can you do? I mean, he's talking to George Foreman, and I mean George Foreman, like I said, obviously
can't fight for him.
What's that?
Can't fight for him.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah,
he can sell him some grills.
I mean, he can make sure Wilder eats healthy. Grilled chicken, grilled steak,
grilled vegetables.
Read the Bible. Well, he already does that.
Grilled cheese sandwiches.
I mean,
I don't know.
To be honest, though, in all seriousness, all the I don't condone all the excuses or anything, but I do think that we are starting to see Wilder's body break down on him. So I don't think he has that much longer.
Yeah, I mean, he's
body
35 years old.
Like, from what, all those damn tomato cans in the soup kitchen?
I mean, whatever it is,
he's
had so many arm, hand injuries, shoulder injuries, like they're starting to pile up. Probably from all the damn swimming he does for training. That's why I don't swim.
Well,
Probably the lack of training. Swimming's good for boxing, man. Like, but I don't think he does anything else.
No,
I
but
personally think it's most likely because we've talked about this before, LB. Like the way he throws his punches.
yeah, exactly. His technique. That's what I said. Like he just throws anything, and like he doesn't know how powerful he is. And you know, if you're punching, if you don't control how you punch, you can fuck your hands up, everything up easily.
He thinks he has like arms similar to Canelo, which don't reach as far, so he throws like Canelo.
Yeah, he loads up and he throws these noodle ass fucking Tim Bradley, but with force type punches.
Right.
I was waiting for a Tim Bradley reference to pop up at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, because usually anyone who rips their arms up like this either punches improperly or is geared up, which he's not. I don't think he's not geared up.
And
it's in proper form
on people shorter than him.
I mean, he's not Andre Berta, who you can tell is that's the reason why he was ripping up his arms all the time or ripping the muscle.
You can actually see it as he throws some of the rights, especially when he swings and misses. He doesn't really transfer the weight properly with his legs, so you can see the arm flying off by itself. Yeah. Which, depending on how you throw it, you're going to put tension on the bicep, the tricep, or even the forearm.
Yeah, something.
That's why he doesn't try to throw the right hand too much. He kind of just, lulls you until he could throw it perfectly. Because if you see him throw that trash ass right hand enough times, you're gonna see his bullshit, and you're gonna fucking either time it or fucking deal with it a little better.
Yeah, that's like you said. He learned how to make you fall asleep until he throws it.
Yeah, that's all. And he's doing it against guys who, aren't that much more skilled than him. So they get through it. So, it all comes down to opposition.
Yeah. Like, what do you do when somebody can see the one thing and takes it away? What do you do to adjust?
Exactly. But he ain't find out to damn near 50 fights.
It happens. It says also about the landscape of the heavyweight division.
No, it says something about his motherfucking trainers and his people. It says something about his fucking market, his matchmaking.
Yeah, I'd probably say his circle.
Development fights. He could have took better development fights, especially you in the division with damn Chisora and damn
White and
Dylan White, like bruh.
Those would have been fun fights.
Fucking excuses for Wilder, like
those would have been fun fights. Yeah, those would have been like really good fights. Because I think it's more like
even Kanaki would have been a good fight for Wilder. That would have been a good fight for both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be.
And now, of course, that Kanaki needs to be rebuilt too because PBC matchmaking kind of fucked him up.
Yeah, we just gonna kidnap all these dudes and dump them off at Roy Jones Ranch and hopefully these niggas stumble into some fucking boxing lessons.
Right.
That's all I can say. There's nothing else I can really say about it. Just hopefully maybe all them and Eubanks could fucking make a fucking group or some shit.
A support group.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is XYZ, and I throw crazy punches.
Hello, I'm XYZ, and I train hard, but it don't look like it when I fight. Hello, I'm XYZ. I come forward, but I get hit too fucking much because I don't move my head.
Hello,
there you go.
XYZ.
All three of them just boom, 1, 2, 3, bow.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Wilder just needs to improve. But I mean, I honestly now, there's no X factors. Wilder, if I don't see anything like say, oh, he's improved, he's getting killed in the third fight, sometime at the end of the year.
Yeah, whenever the world get back to normal, I don't know, for Wilder's sake, he better hope it takes forever. He can learn as much boxing as he damn can.
Personally, I honestly think Wilder needs an interim fight in between. Like he really does. Like if he was
nah. With his confidences and everything, they would have to bring the damn jobber of jobbers for this dude. Like, you gonna give Julius Long a call? Like, who you gonna get? Like, who? What?
Cornelius Bundridge.
Bruh, yeah, what? And make him stand on two other people's heads? Like,
I mean, you probably can't even get like someone
in a trench coat.
Still in a trench coat.
I mean, probably Eddie Chambers is probably too dangerous for him right now.
Eddie Chambers would be too much trouble.
I feel like if I gave Pat $10,000, he would be too dangerous for Wilder. Like, bro, I'm not trusting Wilder with nobody, bro. Like,
how great would that be? Pat's debut fight, he gets blackballed immediately.
Bro. They'd be like, damn, like, well, yeah, this guy from a fucking podcast came and, he outboxed him for 4 rounds until, he got tired. He wasn't a world level boxer, but, he beating a former champ. So, I mean, damn. So it's like, it's getting to that level. Like, I wouldn't trust. Like, there's some kid in some gym across the country right now who will put hands on Wilder.
Right, I mean, like there's no one you could probably put him in with at this point. That's not completely dangerous. Even a fucking shot Maurice Harris could probably. Yeah,
bro, oh my God, I was thinking of Maurice Harris right in my mind when you said that. Like, get out of my head, bro. I was like, damn, Maurice Harris would probably beat this dude ass. Like, I don't know, like. Like, I wouldn't roll the dice on none of them shits.
Yeah, but I guess it'd also say like how he would be leading up to it as well. Because right now we can see him; he's at his low.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, now
people fight harder when you at your lowest, though.
Yeah, but also people like handle it differently as well.
Well, let's say
before they come back harder.
I mean, right now, what's got to define his career right now is how he comes back. Like, if he comes back to Wilder and, like, say, if he loses, but he actually makes it a fight, then he's redeemed himself.
Yeah.
But if he's going in there and if he gets taken out, like, even shorter amount of time, then, PBC pretty much has killed their draw. They're going to have to invest in somebody else at heavyweight.
PBC is in a weird position right now because, obviously, they want to give him a light touch, but you don't want to give him too much of a light touch. But at the same time, you got to gauge how much of a contender do you want him to go up against where it might not go too terribly. But I would just say
that's not going to happen because it's too much money involved, and I don't think they had it in the contract for them to do that.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't. So that's the thing. So yeah, most likely
you think Fury want to get his guy opportunity after opportunity to get better, to learn his job.
Of course not. He's too risky.
It's like, damn, how many different times Fury got to beat him? Like, he outboxed him the first time, that outfought him the second time. Like, well, he's going to like put both together, like the third time.
That would be amazing.
I mean, the next step is, Fury puts Wilder on a stretcher, God forbid, and you don't.
Nah, his corner won't.
He just went to the whole next level.
His corner won't let it happen.
Yeah,
well,
but Breland still got a job.
And like I said, I mean, Wilder should be like thinking right now he's fine for his career because that's what it is. Like, he's 35 years old. I mean, his body's breaking down, like P said. I mean, he doesn't have any. I mean, this is what I said too. This is what we talked about too. Like, he doesn't have that much prime left, and and I would say like once his prime leaves, it's curtains for him because he doesn't have the fundamentals to back it up. It's a horrible thing for Wilder right now. But you will at least try to make him see, at least make one solid effort to actually do something with his career. But
yeah, LB and I will discuss more on that on a later thing.
Yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell.
You guys are breaking my heart.
Well, no, it's not. There are some Wilder fans that are even more heartbroken though.
Yeah, but I don't want to acknowledge.
I mean, I like Wilder, but some of his fans are definitely showing themselves.
Yeah, me and Pierre are in that position of like, there's way too many crazy people below us who we just don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah. They're just mostly.
Yeah, them damn alphabet fucking boys. I don't. What are you, the BBC, ABC, LD, whatever? I don't know what the fuck they are these days.
Hey, these guys are weird, so I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, speaking of them too, they